Got it.
All right, so today I'm here with Cheryl Brost. She is crazy, crazy fit. She's been in the CrossFit Games 14 times, right? You've
Hmm.
been in the CrossFit Games
I've
14 times, or you've
I've
been within that. Yeah, go ahead,
I've
tell me.
I've been doing CrossFit for a little over 14 years. I've been qualified for 12 games. I had to bow out twice due to injury, so I actually attended 10 games now.
Nice, nice. And what's even cooler about that is, so yeah, because you won the CrossFit Games last year for your for the 50 to 54,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
And weren't you? You actually were injured the year. Is it the year before that you got injured?
Yeah, I had actually 22 I competed. 21 I had hip surgery. So I sat out that year. 20 was COVID year, so that, didn't really happen. I
Uh-huh.
competed in 19 and 18 I missed because of shoulder surgery. Yeah, so working our way back. It's been
Which is
most of the year.
awesome because a lot of times people think, yeah, I got hurt, shoot, got to throw in the towel. Let's
Oh
go,
yeah.
we're just play pickleball now, kind of thing.
What's
Nothing wrong with pickleball,
right. No,
but
what's really great about our sport in CrossFit is there's a way to scale or modify things. So even if you're going through an injury, like a big joint injury, that didn't stop me from going to the gym, other than maybe
mm,
a few days after my surgery, while I'm just letting the inflammation die down and get adjusted to going through surgery.
mm-hmm.
But I just go to the gym and start working on some other things and figure out things I could do and do that instead, while I was rehabbing and getting well again with that repaired joint.
Yeah, because
So,
what part of what's like your favorite kind of thing to do when you say, if all's well in your body, what is your favorite fitness part, or what is your favorite kind of exercise routines? Are you like, man, I love squatting, I love running, I love rowing, I love
oh,
pull-ups?
I I love I love the strength lifting portion of my training. I love metcons. Um, I've come to have okay acceptance of rowing. I'm in a shorter stature athlete, so any machines are probably not a natural strength of mine. I got to work hard
Mm.
at just to be adequate at them. Um, yeah, there's most everything I like learning and refining gymnastic skills. I like barbell movements. I like cycling the barbell. Um, Probably my most strong lift is deadlift.
Oh wow.
I'm adequate at, clean and jerk and snatch too.
Yeah,
So
so when you were injured there, like you had a labral issue, you had, surgery, so you're not doing deadlifts then, right?
right.
You got to take those off, so you got to find something
Yeah.
else to
Oh yeah.
go
Yep.
to, even though
So
that maybe
now
you're
it's
you're
like now it's working the upper body more and
mhm.
doing, of course, the physical therapy exercises that I needed for the hip. But really pounding the shoulders and coming from shoulder surgery in 2018 on my right and then in 2019 on my left shoulder.
Mhm.
That those shoulders needed they could use the extra time,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
build that strength back.
yeah.
So,
So what was the thing that kind of got you into this? I mean, if
oh,
you're not just doing like I'm doing CrossFit, but you're, competing at it. I've seen my dad do it.
yeah.
It's an entirely different way of going about it, or another level, of another intensity. But you've been doing it,
Mhm.
so 12 times, 10 times, 14 years overall, kind of thing. What is the what kind of got you going into this in the first place?
Well, my girlfriend Letitia Fisick, she was the one that told me about CrossFit, and I none of us knew at that time when we went to the first CrossFit class that there was a competition side to CrossFit. So
Hmm.
it was December 7th, 2009 was my first CrossFit class. And I think it might have been about February of 2010 when Jeremy Stecker, the owner of Eugene CrossFit, had told our morning class that, hey, there's the sectional competition coming up in Portland in March. And everyone's like, what's this about? Like, tell us more. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started. I just, from day one, my very first CrossFit class, I just fell in love with the team aspect of working together. Like, I mean, yeah, you're doing your workout on your own, but you're in a group together. It was the closest thing I could compare to being a collegiate athlete, playing soccer and basketball, of replicating that feeling once again. So I really liked that community feel, and working hard, together to
Yeah.
try to do the best we can. And so a handful of us, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so of us from the gym decided to enter the sectional competition in March. And yeah, guess I just haven't looked back since then.
Wow, wow. So on average, how many days would you work out in a week?
Um, I think when I first started, it was probably 4 days a week. And then, or maybe even three. And then once, we went to sectionals, and I think you had to be like top 20 to advance to regionals. And so I advanced to regionals as well as several of my gym mates did as well. And it just kind of kept progressing from there. And then, so regionals was like in May, so only 2 months later. And there I found myself. I finished second in the Northwest regionals. And
Wow.
I literally had just got my, first ring muscle up like in April. So here I am staying, close to the top of the podium and going to my first trip for the games in July that summer.
Wow, wow.
So
So
kind of had to learn
are you
quickly.
38, 39? How old
I
are you
was
when
in 2010, I was 39.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
now you got 14 years under your belt. That's pretty legit, man.
yeah.
Almost 15.
And that was back in the day where I was competing against all the whole open age group, right? I had Annie Thor's daughter, Samantha Briggs, all those
Wow.
games that are still a part of the game as well and doing amazing things at the elite level. So um, it was fun to think back to the very first days of the CrossFit Games.
And yeah, so now your workout routine, if you're going, 3, 4, just keeps on, the days a week, hours in the
Yeah.
day. What is it
So
escalated to?
I train 5 to 6 days a week now, and have for years now. I generally take Thursdays can be active recovery day. So, it kind of fluctuates through the cycle of the season. As we approach more games time, then yeah, it's definitely Thursdays. You're either doing some extra running or swimming. Sundays are generally always a rest day. So, and then Thursdays, I guess if I feel like I need that extra rest on Thursday, I'll take it.
Nice.
Um,
And
but
how
what I was gonna
long are
say,
those sessions? Go ahead.
like 2 to 3 hours. I prefer to do a one longer session. I know a lot of athletes will do 2 sessions a day. One in the morning, then one later in the day. At this age, I just prefer to warm up once and cool down once, because that takes a chunk of time
Yeah.
as we get a little older.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find it more efficient for me that way.
Nice.
And I also have to drive a little bit to the gym. I do have some equipment in the garage and can do a fair amount in my garage, but I don't like to always train alone. So to be around other people, and I've got a group of willing souls that are willing to pound it with me.
Yeah. Do you feel like are you still like experiencing, new heights in your fitness or movements, or do you feel like your technique's getting better? Do you feel
You
like, man, I'm
know?
still growing?
Yeah. No, I still feel like I'm still refining technique. I had a PR the other day
Whoa,
in grace,
whoa.
right? Here I'm
So
almost
yeah,
fifty-three.
can you give some people that may not know the CrossFit lingo
Okay.
what grace is?
So grace is 4 time 30 clean and jerks at men's weight. It would be 135. I did the
Hmm.
women's weight, of course, which was 95 pounds. And I set a new time of 1:56.
That's unreal. That's awesome, Cheryl. Wow. That's got to
So
feel good right there.
yeah, I didn't really have a game plan going into it. And I just said I'm just gonna 3, 2, 1, go. I'm just gonna go play it by feel, right?
Hmm.
And I went 20 reps unbroken and took a brief rest and then had to go. I don't know. I think I went like three more reps, 2 more reps, and then maybe singles at the end, I guess. But
Hmm.
oh, I finished out with 2 reps, I think, to finish it. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty cool to
That's awesome.
PR, and it was, I think it was like 16 seconds or 17 second or maybe more PR.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're about 53 and a half, you said?
I'll be
Years old,
53 in
or
May.
you're about to be 53 in May, yeah.
Yep.
And you're getting and still getting PRs. That's legit. So
Yep.
it does not matter. You hit that fifth decade and beyond, it does not matter. That's awesome.
Yep.
So Cheryl, I know I've seen that you're because you have a daughter that plays soccer, collegiate
I
soccer, is that
do.
correct?
Yep, we do. Yep.
And it seems like you're trying to like get to her games and stuff. So you get a
Mm-hmm.
little traveling going on. What
Yep.
is your recipe for keeping your fitness going when you are traveling and especially at your level? This is not
Yeah.
just I want to be able to adequate for life. This is super adequacy here.
Yep.
What's your recipe there?
Well, fortunately, with CrossFit, you got CrossFit gyms in a lot of locations across the
Hmm.
world. So that makes it nice. Our daughter plays college soccer in Florida. So the last 2 falls, we've gone out there and spent 2+ months
Oh wow.
at a time. And so we found a gym there, and we just kind of become part of their community for those 2 months.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So amongst your fitness routine, do you have any kind of do you watch like the types of food you consume? Do you have any like a nutrition plan you kind of follow
Yeah.
at all, or you just kind of wing it?
No, I don't probably do it, you know, every day of every year, that's for sure, but I generally track my macros. I would say on average maybe 5, 6 days a week. I will track it, and then I'll go through it in off season. I'll go through time periods where I don't track for all month.
Hmm.
Give yourself a break from all that.
Yeah, yeah.
But consistency and just generally, trying to get as close to my macro prescription as possible and hitting caloric daily prescription,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and doing it with healthy foods, mostly whole,
Nice.
not too processed foods. Yeah, kind of shop the outer aisles mostly at the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are you still living in Hawaii? Is that correct?
Yes.
You're still
Yep.
yeah, the Aloha spirit there. That's awesome. I'd actually got to work out with Cheryl probably like 6 or 7 years ago. It's been a while now.
Yeah. It has.
But I still remember it. She was pushing hard back then. I was like, wow, this is crazy what this woman can do.
Yep, you and your dad.
Yeah. Um, so what's the if you were to say, hey, you run into somebody, they're coming through town or whatever, like, whoa, what's this, what's up, man, what are you up to, Cheryl? Or they've never met you, and you're like, man, this lady's like jacked. And what's the thing that you're like, man, if they're not into that, they've never done anything like that before, they've never not even seen people like yourself walking around town who are 50, almost 53, and look like you could be in a some 300 movie kind of thing. What is the thing that do you have any words of wisdom or things that you would use to inspire or to beyond just the fact that you look super
Yeah,
fit.
I
Um,
get, being in Hawaii, I get a lot of like, wow, are you a triathlete? And I'm like, oh no, I'd probably drown. But I do compete in CrossFit, and we'd love to see you at CrossFit All Star or CrossFit Kona or whatever gym that is in their area. Um,
hmm
and a lot of people you get all different responses, but a lot of people are like, either, oh, I can never do that, or, I got a bad back, or,
mm,
you hear a lot of that. And I just try to encourage them that, or I need to get in shape first before I do that, right?
that's the one right there.
Like, no, 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 you don't. You just come as you are. And you you would love our CrossFit community. And you know, there's no judgment. The coaches can modify and provide the same stimulus, whatever the workout is that day.
hmm
For you, the movement might look different, but they can modify and make it applicable to you and keep it safe so that you can achieve your goals of getting a little fitter, looking
hmm
healthy. So I just try to encourage them that way. Um, but yeah, I I think there's, some people I hear, they don't tell me to my face, but I hear your other friends like, does wow, does Cheryl like take like something to help her like
hmm
look like that? And it's like, no, it's just consistency. Like,
Yeah.
after that many years, and I was a collegiate athlete as well. So it's not something I just started late in life.
hmm
I've been working at health and fitness and wellness for my whole life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I encourage people to take the time to invest in themselves. Because if you choose not to take the time now, you might be forced to take the time to deal with an illness down the road.
hmm For
So,
sure. Yeah, I mean, what would you say as far as, I mean, there is the purely, you're physically super fit. Have you noticed, just like your mental life, your even relationships, like, man, I see benefit from that by showing up and doing my training on a consistent basis.
oh yeah, I mean, not only the mental release you get from a good workout, but the physical, all the endorphins, it just moving your body on a daily basis, whether it's just going for a walk, just get out
hmm
the door, get off your chair. Um, just, I my mom is 80, and she's back to dancing hula again. And she's got a bad back. It's, kind of fused in a stretch. And so, she feels she's had double knee replacement, and
Wow.
so, but in her way, she's doing her best to stay active and keep moving. And
Mm,
what I encourage for all walks of life to
yeah.
find something you enjoy doing, and take the time for yourself,
Yeah. And
because we need it.
oh my goodness, no doubt. And what do you see going forward for yourself? Do you think, man, I want to keep at the competition level kind of as long as I can kind of thing, or
Yeah. I kind of just take a season at a time, and I always, at the end of the season, I always go back and evaluate, how that year looked for me, how I enjoyed it, where I'm at in my goals in this venture I'm on. Um, Most importantly, you got to enjoy what you're doing, right? So,
yeah.
um, I still enjoying what I'm doing. I enjoy the process of training for something. I enjoy the sessions in the gym on a day-to-day basis. Some people don't like that, but
Sure.
and some people love that, but don't like the competing side. Actually the
hmm
competition. And I've actually gone through bouts of that where I've had seasons where I'm at the games where maybe I just wasn't in the right mental state, or was putting too much pressure on myself, where you could
Mm,
change that, where it's just too much. But
mm.
I've it's been a blast lately. I've really enjoyed it. I think the community, the gals I compete against are all great. So it's fun to, see them again. I enjoy my training partners, and, we have a good time, make fun of each other all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So I love it.
Have you ever had a time where you like, man, I'm just burnt out of going to the gym, doing another training, get my because do you have
Yeah.
somebody that gives you training or do you write
Yeah.
up your own?
Yeah. I follow Invictus Masters
Okay.
program. And yeah, I've been an Invictus athlete since 2000, early 2013. So 11 years now. And they do a great job. I've, you wonder like, oh, I haven't really tried other training camps out there, other programs, but I haven't had a reason to.
Yeah, no doubt you
Oh,
got the results for sure.
yeah, I really like our Invictus family, and they treat me well, and
Hmm,
I love them. So
that's
yeah,
cool.
they
So
go for
yeah,
every.
if you ever did have you ever have a time where you were like, man, I'm burnt out of these workouts. I need to take a week off
Um,
or a day, or is it mostly just purely competition part?
yeah, I think there's been time periods there, and when I look back on it, it's mainly when I'm been doing a lot of training on my own,
Hmm.
and not surrounding self with other individuals to go through it with you.
Yeah.
So before Invictus came out with a master's program, I was CJ Martin for years programmed specifically for me. Um, and that was great. It got me very far in acquiring the skills I needed to compete
Hmm.
at a high level. And then I was feeling a little alone on an island doing that, because it was quite a bit of volume and stuff, but I would have to do that all during open gym time. And this was back when we were still in Eugene, Oregon. And my husband and we had a business to run as well. So, I would just kind of have to get that done on my own. And I really didn't have a community or group to do that training with me.
Hmm.
Just it was, quite a commitment. But so for a while we had CJ and I had that discussion. And so we decided, well, how about you just follow the Invictus competition program for a while rather than the Invictus athlete program? So the Invictus competition was like, they put out a program for anyone in the universe to follow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People would blog and, report the results. So it kind of felt like you had some interaction
Yeah.
and social part of it. And it wasn't just you reporting to a coach. You had some camaraderie going on. So that was helpful. And then it wasn't too much longer after that when they came out with Invictus Masters program. And I was kind of hesitant at first because I had been competing in the elite level for a few years and had just transitioned to competing in the age groups. And I was like, oh, is it going to be too dialed back? Is it going to be too, too easy?
Mm-hmm.
No, they've it just had the Invictus Masters program is more catered to a little older athlete, of course, and it's has more mobility, scheduled into the training, mobility work, lesser volume on like squatting movements, um, less repetitions in a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
programming. So just more scaled to someone that maybe should dial back some of that volume.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So
So
how as far as a percentage of your workouts or your work, that 2-3 hour routine you have, what percentage that is just mobility and almost, a
yeah,
warming up and cooling down.
we start every session with a good active dynamic warm up mobility. stretching. So that takes, I would say, 20 minutes on average at the beginning of every session,
Mm-hmm.
15 to 20 minutes. Yeah. And then we'll move from that into generally some strength training. And then that could be one movement, or it could be a couple different strength movements. And then into our metabolic conditioning. And then they usually after that have a optional cool down, or they have a accessory finishers,
Mm-hmm.
and then some optional cool down work. Or, might be a skill day. Like Tuesdays have been a lot of gymnastics this cycle, a lot of gymnastics on that day. So uh, maybe we don't do a lift, but we do a lot of gymnastic skill work, and then
Mm.
still get our metabolic conditioning in as well.
Yeah, I think that's so what you're saying right there, that word skill. I think that is something that for so many people could be, it's like, wow, you could learn a new skill. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time I love about CrossFit is like, I literally am learning new ways to use my body that I kind
Mm-hmm.
of thought, I don't really feel like my body does that. It's like, well, interestingly enough, just like anything else, if you keep practicing it and do these little bite-sized steps,
Yep.
next thing you
Yep.
know, your
Yep.
body does that thing.
Yeah.
And I think that word is just awesome. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that is something we can all like, man, you could go learn a new skill at age
Mm-hmm.
50, at 53, at 75.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly enough, especially if you have, reasonable coaching and somebody that's there to support you, which I think that's
Mm-hmm.
also huge. You being at the gyms there. Not that you probably need any coaching these days. You're doing
Oh,
the
yes, I
coaching for
do.
everybody else. Um, I wanted to come back though. You mentioned about, sometimes you're in competition and you're like, man, I'm loving this. This is the best thing ever. This is great. And then other times you were saying you felt like maybe your mind wasn't quite in the right space, or, something was off. What is there anything you've found that really maybe helps keep you in that space where you feel like, man, this is actually great, even though
Yeah.
I'm, going full speed against maybe my buddies over here, in front of people at the CrossFit Games kind of stuff. Is there anything you found that's been helpful, or you have any routines or?
Um, I think, staying in the present. My college coach would always say, be where your feet are, you
Mm,
know, and staying in the present, not like worrying about, 3 days from now. When I'm talking about like competing at the CrossFit Games,
yeah.
like I want to say it was 2015 that year. It was I just missed the podium by a little bit. I think I
Mm,
finished fourth that year, and definitely should have been on the podium. It just a couple mental mistakes of mine in workouts, and just didn't quite go my way. But
mm,
I think I remember like being at the tunnel heading out to the stadium floor, and just like I remember that unsettled, anxious feeling I had. And all I could think is I was just putting too much stress on the result rather than
mm.
enjoying the process. Um, so be where my feet are, enjoy the trip, enjoy the process. Don't worry or dwell on what the end result is, because you could take care of those things right now in front of you. I mean, the result will take care of itself, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So, um, yeah, enjoy the moment. Um, seize the opportunity you're given each day,
Hmm.
and what happens happens.
Man, that's good
you,
stuff.
you
That's good
can't
stuff.
you can't control how others do, how others perform. You can only control your mindset and your attitude and uh, effort. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's good stuff, Cheryl.
Thanks.
So, Cheryl, anything else you would put out there to those individuals who are, they just happen, their buddy sent this to them, their daughter sent this to their mom, trying to get their mom going, and mom's listening to right now. They would say, hey, to why they might want to, step in to the which I like the word training too, use that word a lot instead of like, I'm gonna go do my
Yeah.
workout. It's like, no, I'm going to train.
Yeah.
Anything you would put out to them?
I would surround yourself around people that you respect and enjoy spending time with. Um, and maybe you don't like to, maybe you like to work out by yourself, but that's great. And I don't mind it now and then, but I prefer to surround myself around positive mindset people that like to have some fun and like to push and work hard. So I think for me, that's a recipe for success in terms of staying consistent and enjoying what I do. Um, so find what you enjoy doing and
Hmm.
take the time for yourself to go do that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Cheryl, thank you so much for being on here. Man, you got a great story. Looking forward to seeing what you can do in 2024 here. And you said you still have one workout left for the Open. That's
Yep.
that's
I'll
gonna
have
go
one
great.
more.
That's
Yep.
gonna go great. I do too. So I'm sure yours will go a lot better than mine will, but that's great. But thank you so much for coming on here, and we'll talk to you again hopefully sometime soon.
All right, Matt. Say hello to your family.
I will.
All right. Take care.